with that, the North is still probably, well, I was going to say it's probably the most up in the air, and that is until you get to the Division of Death, which is also called the East Division, which has Boston, Buffalo, New Jersey, New York, Islanders, Rangers, and Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Washington. Now, I think any one of those teams, bar New Jersey, has a legitimate shot at being in that top four. I think the Islanders maybe is the second most questionable one. I think Buffalo will probably outplay the Islanders and the Devils. And then it just comes down, for me, it comes down to how good the Rangers are going to be and how well Lafreniere plays. Because I think the Rangers have the goaltending with Guriev and Shesterkin to have, like, possibly, if they both play up to their potential, the best tandem in the league. And you know what, actually, I think Carter Hart, he's, you know what you get. Tristan Jarry, if he has a great season, it's possible. A
lot of young goaltenders in this division when you start to put it together. Yeah.
I mean, when you think about it, I wonder what Boston's going to look like. I wonder about Tuukka Rask.
I think Tuukka will be fine. I think Tuukka will be Tuukka.
And I got to say, we got to pause for half a second because I just got a notification on my phone that said Bill Belichick is going to get the Medal of Freedom. President Trump is going to give Bill Belichick the Medal of Freedom, apparently. So that's a little breaking news on the Halftime Brewskis podcast, which obviously you'll all know about by the time this goes live in a couple hours. So that's beside the point. But you heard it here first, which ironically probably won't be where you heard it here first. Back to the East. Do you think the Devils are going to win the race to the bottom?
Yeah. I have them finishing last in this division.
Yeah.
Especially now that Corey Crawford retired out of nowhere. I think they're just like, what the actual F?
That's happened. That's happened a lot, though.
Pissed. Not pissed. I think they're happy that, whatever, he figured it out. But, I think he was actually going to have a big opportunity to be their main goaltender this year.
Absolutely. But that's happened. I mean, that's happened a lot. I meant to say at the beginning that, we want to wish Henrik Lundqvist and Jonathan Toews both well in, all the health issues they're going through. And it seems like such a surprise. Like, you think Toews was under contract, so it didn't matter as much. Henrik Lundqvist seemed like he was going to be playing and found this abnormality, whereas Corey Crawford just kind of came out of nowhere, retiring for the Devils after signing the deal, which they can't possibly have known about because, hockey is still financially driven, especially in a COVID year. Why would they be giving, good money after bad?
We got no signing bonus, so they won't get dinged on the salary cap. So, minor miracles there. But yeah, I think, I think he had his reasons. I think the fact that we don't know why he retired, I think it's personal. So
absolutely,
all the best to him. I'm not sure how old he is. I think he's like 35.
He's been a great player.
Great player. He's got his Stanley Cups, and I think maybe he doesn't have gold medal.
He didn't get. I thought he was the third goalie in
Sochi. Was he?
I thought he was the third goalie in Sochi. Carey Price, was Luongo still on the team then, or was that Holtby?
I don't know. All I remember is Carey
Price. Okay, beside the point. Let's talk about the Rangers, because everyone, they pretty much had the most straightforward first-round pick of the last couple of years since probably Austin Matthews. They had the most straightforward pick by having the opportunity to select Alexis Lafreniere. How do you think? How do you think Lafreniere is going to do, and do you think he is instrumental to how well the Rangers are going to do, or do you think they probably have a good enough team they'll be able to sneak in to the playoffs?
Correction, Corey Crawford was not on the Sochi team, so it was Luongo and Mike Smith as being the backups.
Oh God, Mike Smith. Who would have? Okay, well there you go.
I mean, he's still playing, so credit to him.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna get torn apart this in.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Good luck.
yeah,
The
literally,
Liam
good luck.
Neeson, good luck. But no, back to the Rangers. Like Alexi Lafreniere, I don't think he's going to be instrumental. I think he's going to have a good opportunity to play on a decently young team.
Yep.
I don't think he's the make or break for the Rangers this season. So, the Rangers are a bit hard to predict because as much as we think Shesterkin and Georgiev are going to be as good as they can be, they're still very young. I mean, Shesterkin's still rookie eligible, so he could be up for Calder this season. I'm not sold on their defense, but I still like the team as a whole. But as you said, this is the division of death.
Yes.
So I don't know if Lafreniere in his first year is going to be enough to get the Rangers into the playoffs. So as of right now, I don't have the Rangers in the top 4 of this division.
Right. So who do you have as your top 4?
So one, I think we're going to share the sentiment because I'm pretty sure you called them for winning the cup. And that would be the Washington Capitals. I know that was your prediction. Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 2, I have Boston, but I'm not married to that decision just because I don't actually know what the health of Pastrnak and Marchand is right now. I know they both had surgery in October, so who knows how they're going to come back. And they lost a lot off that blue line. I think Chara and Krug both leaving and not being replaced is an
it puts a lot of pressure,
to say the least. So I don't like that blue line. So now that I'm actually thinking about it out loud, I don't know why I have Boston number 2. I think I have Pittsburgh as being still there because last time I checked, they still have Malkin and they still have Crosby. Correct. And now they're going to have a healthy Gensel and they got Kapanen and Zucker, so they have a lot of scoring depth. So I think they're just going to outscore all their problems. And I still think Tristan Jarry can be good enough because, as we saw with Matt Murray, you don't have to be a great goaltender in Pittsburgh. You just have to be good enough. But I think the one team that I think could surprise, and this is a hot take because of how crappy they've been, would be Buffalo. Buffalo is now just saying Buffalo out loud. I'm like, why would you?
Yeah,
Buffalo? Just saying it out loud. But I don't know whether it's the Bills Mafia energy getting into me and that Buffalo feel good story. But every year, everyone looks at Buffalo and are like, this isn't a bad team. And every year, Buffalo puts it together being like, whoa, Buffalo's a really good team. And then they fall off. So it's like a 10, 15 game stretch where they're like fully with it, fully together. But Rasmus Dahlin going to be another year older. And I think Rasmus Dahlin is a lot better than people choose to believe because I don't think anyone watches Buffalo. But Taylor Hall is a big add. I think Taylor Hall really solidifies that top line.
Good word.
And also it just takes, big word there. I struggled to get it out. But it also takes a lot of pressure off Skinner because I think Skinner just felt a lot of pressure from that contract. Felt a lot of pressure with that contract. And if he can get anywhere back to a 40-goal equivalent for this season, I mean, that looks really good. I think Eric Stahl is a big add. So I'm not sure if they're a playoff team, but I think they're kind of a 4 or 5. I think they can push teams because I have the Islanders falling off. Now, I look stupid every time I say this because I pick the Islanders for falling off every year. But I look at the Islanders and I just don't get it. They have besides Barzell, they have a couple okay players and that's it. So it'll be interesting to see them, but Barry Trotz and Barzell's maybe enough to get them within sniffing distance of the playoffs. But yeah, so back to kind of my 1 through 4, definitely Washington. I think Philly makes it because I think Carter Hart and that defense is good enough to overcome the loss of Niskanen.
Yep.
Washington and Philly, and I would say Pittsburgh are my only solid picks right now then. And then I'll say and then I have Boston at 4.
Yeah.
But that's subject to change because I think Buffalo could be better than we think. And then the New York teams are anyone's guess.
Yeah, I agree with Washington, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia. I think all three of those are like pretty much locks to get in, even though competition is tight. I just, and I have Boston in my list here, but I just think it's difficult to count against them. That's where, I don't necessarily think that they're
We would
that
love to
much.
do so.
Yeah, and I
Not
don't
saying.
think they're that much. Well, not. I don't think the Buffalo's that far behind, and I think the Rangers have the opportunity or the chance to, if they play out of their skin, to steal that fourth spot. And the Islanders, as you said, like it's so hard to count them out because of I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but somehow they always find a way to make it work. And in a shortened season, that could be just what you need. But I think Washington. I don't know why. I think Washington are just going to be in uh, a different stratosphere this year, and I think that's partly going to be driven by uh, Ov realizing this is kind of one of the last years he has to win a cup, and I think it's that's by far and away in a group of death, in a division of death, they are going to be the best surprise first pick, even though that doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, I think Washington, solid defense, solid scoring depth. Samsonov's going to have to play really well.
Absolutely.
Because
No Holtby
there's no safety valve with Holtby, and there's no safety valve in Lundqvist anymore.
Yeah, well, losing Holtby is a tough loss for sure.
Yeah, but it was time for him to kind of step up, anyways.
Yeah,
but he's gonna have to play a lot of games now.
Yeah, I think so too. That's their only issue. If he gets injured, I mean they're probably gonna have to pull the trigger and make a trade to bring a goalie in.
Yeah,
because I don't know their depth on goalie, but it's evident. I mean, I don't know their depth, so that kind of speaks enough.
I mean, Craig Anderson's there on a tryout. Phoenix Copley is their third guy. It's not a lot, so it's Samsonov for it's kind of a ride or die situation with Samsonov.